They are signs of American power and might. Military bases spread all over the world. Just how many? Apparently, too many to count.
What I'm relatively sure of is that there are no less than 1,077 U.S. bases or sites in foreign countries. And likely there's actually many more than that. We just can't be sure.
But what we can be sure about is that the U.S. defense budget is now about the same as military spending in all other countries combined.
And since 9/11, military and security expenditures have soared by 119%. Military expenditures in faraway places like New Zealand, Colombia, and Japan. And have you ever heard of the Marshall Islands, Kwajalein Atoll specifically? Well, the United States is there too. And some locations serve dual purposes, like Guantanamo Bay. And they're all sustained by hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayer money. Just how much money?
I don't think anyone really knows the full cost. The Pentagon doesn't keep good tabs, actually, on all the miscellaneous expenses.
And speaking of those miscellaneous expenses,
there are a lot of golf courses tucked away in shadowy places that the Pentagon would rather people not look into.
Golf courses and ski lodges? That's a little bit extra, isn't it?
And Brian Becker of the Answer Coalition says it's not just the golf courses that are extra.
Clearly, there's no need, from the point of view of self-defense, for the U.S. to have military installations all over the world. It's really part of maintaining a far-flung global empire. Each place the U.S. has a military base, the U.S. has political power, economic power. And it's a matter of coercion.
A coercion that isn't always welcome. In fact, it usually breeds more anti-American sentiment. For example, in Kyrgyzstan,
we're living here and raising our children. Why do we need this U.S. air base?
Or in Okinawa, where locals have to give up 10 to 20% of the island to the United States for a military base that they associate with noise, crime, and pollution. And take a look at this. In the wake of demonstrations in Okinawa last year, activists placed this ad in the Washington Post, trying to tell the Obama administration that they don't want a base in their hometown.
All of the proxy governments that accept U.S. military bases into their country become vulnerable once the people actually start to rise up and mobilize, which they almost always do.
Rising up against a double standard.
The U.S. would never tolerate China having military bases in Canada, in Mexico, in Haiti, in the Dominican Republic. In other words, in the countries that ring the United States. The United States is the 700-pound gorilla. It sits wherever it chooses to sit.
And choosing to sit down wherever usually means that those most affected by these bases, both here at home and abroad, don't have a place at the table. For RT, Dina Gosofsky.